12 hours ago, something in deep space doubled in size. Not a city, not a mountain, an entire interstellar object. Yesterday, 3/8 measured 4.2 kilometers across. Today, 8.7 kilometers. This is a violation of physics itself. Publicly, silence. Privately, emergency meetings, cancelled missions, and panic behind closed doors. Because what happened to 3IATLAS overnight defies every law of nature we understand. The expansion follows perfect geometric patterns. It's powered by energy sources that don't exist, and the electromagnetic signatures now pouring off this ancient wanderer match theoretical profiles for technology that humanity won't develop for another century. 3 separate space agencies quietly cancelled all missions scheduled to pass within 50 million kilometers of this rapidly expanding object. Join us as we reveal what really happened during those 12 hours when nobody was watching. The energy bursts that blinded telescopes worldwide, the structural changes that turned a simple comet into something resembling a massive space station, and the terrifying possibility that we re-witnessing the deployment of technology so advanced, it treats our entire solar system as a construction site. It wasn't natural growth. It was construction. In the early morning hours, when most of the world was asleep, every major observatory on Earth detected the same thing. 3IATL suddenly blazed with infrared radiation so intense it left after images burned into sensors worldwide. Telescopes designed to peer into the depths of space were blinded by light coming from a single point in our own solar system. The heat signature was so powerful it saturated equipment from Chile to Hawaii, forcing astronomers to shut down billion-dollar instruments to prevent permanent damage. The radiation blast lasted exactly 47 minutes. When it faded, the object that emerged was twice the size it had been hours before. But this wasn't some chaotic explosion or random expansion. Analysis of the before and after images reveals that the growth followed precise geometric patterns. But when the dust settled and the radiation cooled, 3I Atlas didn't look like a comet anymore. It looked like a machine, but whose machine and what was it building? At first glance, the expansion seems to defy the laws of physics. How can an object 1.6 kilometers wide increase to 3.4 kilometers in just 12 hours unless it was hollow? Examination of its density reveals no hollow space. The object increased in mass as well as size, maintaining consistent densities before and after. So it expanded from within. But what could be contained inside a space rock drifting through interstellar space for millennia? How could it suddenly double in size while remaining intact? The answer, it was hollowed out and refilled during the expansion event. As 3I Atlas grew, sections of its interior were replaced with complex machinery that transformed the comet's composition and function. The expansion actually occurred in 3 distinct phases, each serving a specific engineering purpose. Phase 1, core restructuring. The first 2 hours saw intense activity at the core of 3I Atlas, with temperatures reaching 3,000 degrees Celsius. But instead of melting, the core was being rebuilt from the inside out, converted into something stronger and more complex. Phase 2, Framework Extension. Hours 3 through 7 involved the systematic construction of geometric structures extending from the surface. These weren't natural formations, they were engineered frameworks with precise angles and measurements that followed universal mathematical constants. Phase 3, System Integration. The final 5 hours showed different sections of the expanded structure connecting with each other through complex networks of conduits and communication channels. Each phase generated distinct electromagnetic signatures that radio telescopes recorded in perfect detail. The signals weren't random bursts of energy. They followed mathematical patterns that suggest sophisticated engineering protocols operating with clockwork precision. An expert at the Arecibo Observatory described what they witnessed. The radio emissions during the expansion weren't chaotic. They were coordinated, structured, like construction crews communicating during a massive building project, but with precision that exceeds anything human engineering has ever achieved. But what's truly terrifying is that during the expansion, 3I Atlas was talking. It wasn't just emitting energy, it was engaging in two-way communications with multiple sources throughout our solar system. And those conversations continue even now. The sheer volume of information being exchanged overwhelms any efforts to decode. But the fact that 3 Atlas is carrying on conversations with partners all over our solar system suggests it's moved from passive observation to active engagement. The expansion also wasn't fueled by any known energy source. It released energy equal to a small star compressed into a 12-hour time frame. Where did that power come from? Did it tap into the vacuum of space itself, harvesting power from quantum fluctuations that exist everywhere but remain beyond our technology to access? Did it feed off parallel dimensions, reaching across the barriers between realities to draw energy from sources we can't even detect? Or is it receiving power from somewhere else entirely? The latter theory is the most disturbing. What if 3I Atlas is drawing power from somewhere outside our solar system, receiving unlimited energy through a wireless connection that allows it to operate indefinitely without refueling? If something can transmit this much power across interstellar distances and have it arrive with pinpoint precision, then we're not just dealing with advanced technology, we're dealing with engineering capabilities that operate on scales beyond our comprehension. The precision is what makes it terrifying. Every joule of energy was directed exactly where it needed to go, with no waste and no spillover. The kind of control that suggests complete mastery of physical forces. We're only beginning to understand. The signal analysis reveals something even more shocking. During its 12-hour expansion, 3IA TLAS received transmissions from multiple locations all over our solar system. And those transmissions weren't random. They followed precise mathematical sequences that aligned perfectly with the expansion phases. Real-time updates were sent to 3IATLAS, instructing it on what to build, how to build it, and when to proceed. But the most alarming fact, those signals came from objects we previously categorized as space rocks, ordinary asteroids, and space debris. But in reality, they were relays for an interstellar network. The actual source of the instructions lay far beyond our solar system, communicating with relays throughout our asteroid belt and Kuiper belt to ensure 3IATLAs received guidance with perfect timing. This raises a terrifying possibility. Is 3IATLAs receiving orders from a civilization located thousands of light years away? A civilization advanced enough to send automated probes to scout our solar system centuries ahead of their own civilization. Could that civilization be watching us right now? Is the expansion of 3IATLAS a sign that the observation phase is ending and the active engagement is beginning? High-resolution imaging of the expanded 3IATLAS reveals the most disturbing truth yet. This isn't just a machine, it's infrastructure. The internal architecture includes pressurized compartments with dimensions scaled for beings approximately 3 meters tall. Environmental systems that maintain atmospheric compositions toxic to humans but potentially habitable for other types of biology. Dozens of airlocks equipped to manage pressure differentials for safe entry and exit. But most chilling are the docking ports. Facilities sized for vehicles far larger than 3I Atlas itself. Docking rings that could accommodate starships up to 1 kilometer in length. Energy systems capable of powering vessels with requirements far exceeding our current technology. All this suggests that 3I Atlas isn't just a scout. It's a staging point for a much larger operation. The sheer scale and sophistication of the infrastructure imply a level of organization and coordination that indicates something huge is happening in our solar system. The manufacturing capabilities alone are staggering. The newly expanded structure contains dozens of fabrication chambers equipped to produce complex components from raw materials, assembly areas equipped with automated systems designed for continuous production. But the production isn't random. The facilities appear optimized for creating specific types of equipment. Components that match no known human technology but follow design principles consistent with the advanced engineering visible throughout the expanded structure. If that's true, then 3IATLAS is just the tip of the iceberg. The docking facilities can accommodate vehicles far larger than 3IATLAS itself. The communication arrays are designed to handle traffic volumes that suggest coordination with multiple other assets. The manufacturing capabilities are scaled for production levels that indicate major construction projects throughout our local space. NASA's official silence about 3IATLAS's expansion isn't bureaucratic caution. It's evidence of response protocols developed for exactly this scenario. Classified documents reveal that major space agencies have been preparing for decades to encounter artificial objects of unknown origin, demonstrating capabilities far beyond human technology. Equipped to operate autonomously for millennia, possessing the